Microphone check.
And welcome back to the Rich and Angel Show 2020.
2020, baby.
Rich and Angel. It's the Rich and Angel Show.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Rich and Angel Show. And we are live with you today. Let us know if you have any questions or just feel free to interrupt us in the comments and we will get back to you since we are monitoring all these comments.
January 2nd,
Yes, it feels
2020.
it's so weird. It feels like Monday, but at the same time, it feels like Friday. It doesn't feel
yeah.
like Thursday.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I really don't. I'm ready. I'm ready for this holiday stuff to all come to a full close.
Yeah.
Well, this is the last weekend before we finally get back into the swing, which I'm looking forward to January 6th. We got some new things happening here as a company.
That's right.
So very exciting times for us here at Maliki Parts and Service. Exciting times for the food equipment industry. Exciting times for marketing and new B2B business and just content. And there's a lot of interesting things that need to start coming into fruition to all of our lives.
That's right. Our friend Alexander is in the house as usual.
Alexander,
Thank you, you're the man.
Our number one fan watcher of the Rich and Angel Show. Thank you,
Supporter.
brother. Happy New Year to you.
Yes.
And how was New Year's Eve for you?
It was good. It was pretty chill, just relaxed, you know. My brother went out. I didn't go out. I
Yeah.
almost did, but I'm too old.
Yeah, we did a little dinner around town
Little shindig.
and finished up around like 9.
I saw you
then
were
went
at
over
your
to some-
spot. You were at your spot, right?
Listen, I went to Cafe Bello. I had to finish where I started.
No, we're about to have them promote us.
It was a great meal. They have really good food. If anyone's ever in Jersey, I'll take you there. But
Yeah.
then we went back to the family house, some full house karaoke,
Nice.
some drinking and some eating, and watched the Honeymooners all day yesterday.
Love it. I
And,
watched what show that
Leave it there. The cat to get it.
I
But
I forget. Oh, I saw this show on Netflix called Don't F with Cats.
okay.
And took a very weird turn. It's like all about finding an internet killer who starts off as and this is all real. It's a documentary.
Okay.
It starts off as he's kind of psycho and he's like doing crazy stuff to cats on the internet and uploading it, which is completely bonkers. And then from there it like devolves into like a murder case that's like international and stuff. This is all in like 2012. And they just put out the documentary. So it's really cool.
Yeah, I got to jump on Netflix and see some of these things. You're always telling me about these documentaries.
Yeah.
I still
it's
didn't
good
see the
stuff.
one you told me to watch. Was it Fire Island? What was it?
Oh, the Fire Festival.
Fire Festival.
If you've seen the Fire Festival, drop a comment because it's so amazing and it's so relevant to if you're doing anything with media.
Yeah.
Just being able to assure people that what you're doing is actually legit.
Yeah.
It's like worst case scenario for anybody in marketing. Like that's really what it is. The whole document.
I got to check that out. I
Yeah.
really do. Where's my?
What are you looking for? Your notebook? Oh, your water. So
Yeah, I gotta hydrate.
yeah.
So, man, I can't believe we're here. I think before we start, I just want to put it out there. If anybody wants to call in live,
Yes.
we have the ability to get you on. So anyone out there, if you want to be on the show, if we're hitting on some topics that you want to jump in and talk about, if you have something on your mind and you want to get it off your mind and you want to get it out into the universe, into our audience, please do so. So we'll just give us your number and we'll give you a ring.
That's right.
Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. We are live and direct. We are going to get into it. First topic at hand: how sales teams can use marketing content to close more deals.
That's right.
Listen, we are in a new decade, and it is time to start implementing some things that are going on out there because it's really, at the end of the day, about a couple of things: community and opportunities. So those are just two things. But right here, how sales teams can use marketing content to close more deals. Content marketing is growing fast. Research from 2017 predicted the industry would be worth roughly $413 billion with a B by 2021. Seth Godin, If you don't know who Seth Godin is, he is a marketing guru.
Yes, very very smart guy.
Yeah, Seth Godin even says it's the only marketing left.
That's wild.
You know, I mean that statement says a lot.
Yeah.
So first it says start with your customers' most important questions. Your content should be addressing your customers' most pressing needs. It's often not hard to figure out what these things are either. Your sales team will tell you because they hear about them all the time. For us in this food equipment service industry, the pressing needs is one word.
What's that?
Communication.
Communication.
That is the number one thing that I hear walking into new accounts. When someone reaches out and says, "Hey, Rich, I've been watching you on your videos. I love what you're about. Can you come in? I want to talk to you. I'm looking to change companies and blah, blah, blah."
Yeah, they just don't get back to us.
We never know where our parts are.
Right.
We never know if the tech even came. We didn't even know he came. We didn't know that there's so many things on the communication. And, listen, you got to order parts. We understand you got to order parts.
Right.
When are you coming back? Can you give us an ETA?
Right.
So it's just simple communication. And what do I always say? Maliki cares. Care is
communication.
That's what it is at the end of the day. And we're building it here. It's so simple in layman's terms.
Yeah. And it's funny because if you address those things up front with your marketing, it'll almost make the back end process of like meeting the person and having them worry about whether or not to be a client of yours. It kind of shortens that process.
Yeah.
And so they're just like, I know, I love what you do. I see how transparent you are, let's work together. And you're almost in and out of there. Like I've seen that a few times where people who are like the managers of the restaurant, or they manage that specific department. They're like, "Oh yeah, I've seen your stuff. I like how you communicate. Let's do business. Let's do work.
Let's do work." I mean, it's so communication is big. If you guys are watching, let us know what's big for you, for your customers.
Yeah.
But
I'd also say another thing that we that's important for people within other service companies who watch our content is how to create new technicians, how to get more technicians, where to find them, new people to hire. That's another big need that I think we're trying to target with our content as well.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah,
without a doubt. And moving on. So it says, bring your sales and marketing teams together to discuss three things. One, what top problems can marketing help sales answer for customers? What top problems can marketing help sales answer for customers? Number two, which misperception about your product could content clarify? Now, this one for me, we talk about perceptions, realities.
Yeah.
Which misperceptions about your product could content clarify? Product or service?
Right. The installations, I think, is a big one.
we could show you the inner workings of what service is about.
Right.
Because there's, I still get emails. It just happened before the break about everyone wants an installation, this, that, and the other thing. Quick. I get it.
Right.
We want to do it quick too, but there's a but. We have to do it methodically and strategically and properly to make sure everything is firing off on all cylinders.
Right.
And one of the things is, hey, can you come in? We do certified installs for manufacturers.
Right.
Not going to name the names or anything like that, but through these certified installations, we have set prices that we get paid.
Right.
And they're guidelines, and they're through the manufacturer, and we are a partner with the manufacturer. So when a dealer or a rep or somebody comes in and says, hey, you did the site survey, you did this, that, and the other thing, we need you to go do the install, but we need you there at 3:00 or 2:00. No.
Right.
Because that's going to be into overtime hours. There's the guidelines. It's regular business hours.
Mm-hmm.
So now there's all other things that go into this stuff, but these are misperceptions. I think that it's like, well, why can't you do that? Why won't you do that? Because listen, our time is money.
Right.
That's how I feed my family. That's how my employees feed their families. We sell our time. So the misperceptions that through the content, we could really dive deep in, which we're gonna.
Oh yeah. I think the site survey thing is a big one too. It's like, hey, can you just stop by real quick, do a site survey? And then people don't always realize that how long of a process that can be, or what other things you may have in front of them, and they're just like, hey, can you stop by today and do a site survey?
And what happens when you get there and the thing is still under construction. The building's under construction. There's
Right.
not even any walls up.
Right.
And then you reply back and listen. This is not ready. What do you mean it's not ready for site survey? There was no electric. There's no water. The walls aren't up yet. We don't know we don't know. We don't even know where it's. I mean, there's just so many factors.
Right.
But content can absolutely break down those barriers.
And I think it has for us on a lot of levels.
Oh yeah, we're definitely making headway. Don't get me wrong. There's a long way to go.
Yeah, of course.
But we're making headway. The third one is, have pieces been created that address these needs already? Yes.
Yeah.
The answers are going to point you in the right direction toward creating content people actually want. And that's what it is. Don't make content for you.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a big mistake. And I made that mistake for a long time when I was first starting to create. Is like you have to kind of adjust to what people are responding to, because that's actually what they need you for.
Right.
You know,
And I think that's going to go for what we're doing this year.
Yeah.
We sat and talked about it. We put a lot of videos out this year.
Yeah.
And it's not that they did horrible, but I think things need to change, right? We need to continue to evolve to see what's going to work better and better and better every time.
Right.
Obviously, the pizza videos worked great. We'll probably do some more fun videos like that. Hey, if you want to do a pizza review with us, let us know.
Hey, drop a comment.
But we're talking about how-to videos and diving more into things of that nature to really create content people actually want.
Yes.
And maintain an open conversation around what's getting used. That's what we're just saying. We got to talk about it.
Yeah, it's constantly a flowing thing. We're never set on this is going to be with the content we make and then that's it, period.
Yeah.
We try and be consistent, but at the same time leave room open for people who are watching to tell us like, okay, this is what we like more than this.
Exactly. Yeah. So moving on to the next topic at hand, ladies and gentlemen, 2 great ways to put yourself in the mind of your customer. Ooh, putting yourself in the mind of your customer. That's basically empathy at the end of the day, right? And I could probably write an article on 2 great ways to have their customer put themselves in the minds of the service company, even though that's, listen, they're paying us. I guess I get that. But empathy in this business really does matter for both angles.
Oh yeah.
Because we're all going through it and we're just trying to, sometimes we have to work around you. Sometimes we have to come in at times, that aren't, the best for you. And people are, doing prep work, chopping onions and doing stuff. There's oil, fryers, things going. The technician's trying to take apart.
I think a good word for it also would be grace. Like have a little grace on people. You're both trying to run businesses. You're both trying to be effective. Yeah. And sometimes you just got to cut people some slack, and also you have to let people cut you some slack too. Like it's got to be a 2-way street. Yeah.
We say it upstairs all the time. Because we get a lot of phone calls. It's crazy. And we always, people are so nasty sometimes, and it's just, that doesn't help.
Yeah. It doesn't help the process. Doesn't speed anything up. It just makes things harder to deal with.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you're calling us for help.
Right.
We're here to help you. We're not here to hurt you. So, call in with have a little grace.
Yeah.
So with these 2 ways, strengthening your connection with your audience means looking at them from different perspectives. Number 1 is think of a product or industry that makes you uncomfortable. No human being is a master in all aspects of life. Something that one person finds simple can make another person extremely confused and stressed. Think of those letters in the mail, or the phone calls that you purposely put off. Think of those necessary purchases that you absolutely hate doing research for. In most cases, it's because you don't know much about your options. Common examples include new cars, credit cards, clothing, or technology. If you weren't familiarized with these things at a young age, it may be particularly difficult to find the best option for your needs.
I can totally relate to that, especially with the new cars thing. My brother got a new car last year, and I've had to ask him everything about it if I want to purchase it. So, just learning about something like that can be a big hassle. So I guess like that plays into the whole grace thing. Like maybe somebody has no idea what they're asking for when they call.
Yeah. It's, that's a great, it really is a great word to use, to have the grace. But things could be confusing, especially in the service industry. People calling up and they're like, well, they don't know. Right. We have to be the ones that know, and we have to be the ones that I always say, it's not the customer's job to tell us what's going on. It's our job to pull it out of them. It's our job to ask the questions.
And that's such an important part of the process too, because if you're training somebody here in the office and you train them in the right way, they should be able to walk and lead the customer through the whole interaction, getting every bit of information they need as just like almost a robotic thing. Like this is exactly what we need in order to get you the service that you deserve and are asking for.
Yeah, and it says right here, if there's a knowledge gap between you and your audience, it might be because for them, your industry is a natural source of confusion and stress. I wholeheartedly believe that for this industry.
Right.
You know, I don't think anyone really understands what service companies are doing every day.
Yeah, no,
You know?
it takes me 5 minutes to explain to people the company I work for. It
Yeah.
takes me a while. It's like, well, what do they do? Okay, I think I get it. And like you said it all the time, like some people don't even know what you do still. People
Right.
that
I have
known you
friends for
years.
25 years and they're like, he does commercial, it's like kitchen equipment stuff, and it's kitchen equipment stuff. Yeah. But I mean, we have doctors on staff, aka technicians, and they're out there repairing the equipment. And there's phone calls, and there's emails, and there's text messages, and there's software stuff going on. There's dispatch boards, there's purchase orders for parts. There's a lot of back end stuff going on. There's inventory. There's putting the key account parts on vans and key account parts in the warehouse. And when calls are coming in, I make sure we're getting all the information, the models, the serials, the error codes. I mean, there's just a million things that go into every day, into every call. And, we're not going to be perfect. It's not about being perfect, but understanding that, for someone outside of these walls, that's like just a customer, maybe they're in a rep group, maybe they're just getting in the industry and getting their feet wet. There's probably a natural confusion of what really is going on here.
Big time.
So number 2 is study your industry's most disruptive companies.
Ooh, there's that word.
Disruption.
Who would have thought?
Go to thefedgroup.com right now. There are about 40 tickets still left available. Hotel block closes January 10th. If you don't got a room, you're on the street. But yeah, study your industry's most disruptive company. The term disruptor is used so loosely nowadays that many people have likely lost touch with its true definition. Contrary to popular belief, a disruptive company doesn't just do something faster and/or for less money than its competitors. The central purpose of disruption is meeting the customer's needs more effectively. So these companies disrupt their industries by adding new levels of pragmatism. Oh yeah, how long have they been waiting to work that into a conversation?
That's a party word right there.
To traditional business models. They essentially look at these models and ask themselves, why doesn't this make sense for our customers' needs? In most industries, there is a ton of room for improvement in this area. The disruptors in your industry were likely inspired by your target customers' newest and most important preferences. They're a paramount example of what it means to put yourself in the mind of your customer.
Yeah, I mean, my mind immediately goes to the skill trades gap. Like we need to find people. How do we find people? Well, the best way I know to communicate with a bunch of people at once is digitally. And if we work that into this industry, we have a disruptive nature.
That's right. So I urge you to start a podcast this year.
Yes.
And put your thoughts out into the world, begin to write more articles on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And become an industry thought leader.
Yeah, I mean, the way I look at it, it's a genre, right? Like if we create a genre of so mami different podcasts within the food service industry or food equipment industry, it would just naturally start to raise and go viral, like Ami said.
Yes.
But that to me is what I hope to see. Is like I hope that Rich and I can go on other people's podcasts within this industry and just chop it up, and they can do the same here, and we'll create a little scene essentially online. And
I already have 2 set up.
Yeah.
Through Greg Crumpton. And Greg, shout out to Greg. Happy New Year, sir.
Awesome.
And there was another podcast that reached out to us that I actually never got back to. I'm going to be doing that. So we're going to be on a couple of podcasts early on.
Very cool.
But our focus is in right now, very big in the food equipment digital disruptors.
Right.
Disruptor. There's the word disruptor, right? There's a big reason for you guys and girls to be in that room.
Yeah. Big
this is we're turning the page into a new era, and you have to be a part of it. And one of the things I'm going to talk about when we get down there is finding your why. Why are you doing it? Right? You need to know your why. We have our whys.
Right.
Okay. We're not just doing this for our health. There's passion behind it. There's purpose behind it.
Yeah.
And we're looking to build a business as well.
Yeah. I think for me, one of the biggest things that I want people to take away from this event is the nitty gritty details of what it takes to do steady content and developing marketing strategies and stuff. A lot of people might have questions like, all right, let's say I want to start a podcast. How would I even do that? What equipment do I use? Like the super detailed, pragmatic stuff.
Yes.
And I think coming to this will give you that I guess vehicle to be able to ask all those questions and not feel like you're I don't know, asking somebody to pick their brain or whatever. Like, this is what it's actually for, and that's what we want you to get out of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, and it's a community builder. It's a
Yeah.
community builder to get everybody not just motivated or excited, but understanding that they're not alone.
Yeah,
You know,
big time.
we're all going to continue to build and learn and grow through that. And lastly, with what we're talking about here, connection comes from changing your perspective.
Hold on, we got a cool comment here.
Oh,
Disruptor. This is Darren from Sharp's Commercial Kitchens.
Hey, Darren.
Disruptors shake up the industry. I'm one, but I have over 25 years of experience to do so. We are pushing the level playing field from companies like us, small partnerships, highly skilled, to large, profit-driven, low-skilled level. All the best. Very cool, man. I totally agree. You know, I think it takes a unique perspective to be able to look at an industry and say, I'm going to do things differently.
Yeah,
and I commend you for that.
Yeah, and you know, Darren, for being in the industry as long as you have, you know the intricacies, you know the ins and outs, you know what's going on in the back end, you know what's going on the front end, you know what you got your finger on the pulse, so to speak. And
right,
with that, I think for me too, I've been in the industry about 20 years myself now. Started as a kid, 17 years old, but I think we have a responsibility, guys like you and me, to facilitate places for the next generation to know that we exist. Again, the Fed group, I don't want to keep harping on that, but it's just going to be so important. Darren, I don't know if you're in the group. I don't know. If you're not in the group, please head over to thefedgroup.com and you could join the Facebook group through that. And also there's conference information there as well. So
sure. Salute, Darren. He says, cheers, guys.
Cheers.
And Alexander says, there's no speed limits on the road to excellence.
Yeah, that's right.
Love it.
There are no speed limits on what we're doing here. 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, awesome. Samantha says, peace. What's up, Samantha?
Samantha, my sister's watching. Good for her. So the next one, next topic at hand, 3 productivity tips that will keep your team energized in 2020. So I wanted to talk about this because my campaign here, talking about productivity, my campaign here for the next decade, 2 words. What are they?
I'm multitasking. I'm sorry.
All right. I'm going to take the wheel. So
I'm trying to pull this up for us.
Sorry. So 2 words for the campaign for Maliki Parts and Service for the next decade is results only.
Results only. Yes. Okay.
Results only. And that's why this was in particular something I wanted to talk about. 3 productivity tips that'll keep you and your team energized in 2020. Number 1 is allow team members to take frequent breaks.
I love that.
I'll wait for you to pull it up this way we could have a.
Hold on, let me take a break. There we go.
Here's the breaks.
Okay, pulling it up. Boom.
All right, so just
allow team members to take frequent breaks. A little break goes a long way. It's a refresher that keeps team members from getting bored or zoned out. To be honest, our brains just aren't wired to take on extended focus we demand of it these days, says Stephen Dorn, talent scout and former XYZ Media.
Yeah.
I mean, so, I can relate. I skip out of here, you know, maybe every like 3-4 hours and just go like get a little coffee or something like down the block.
Yeah.
And it's just being outside is a nice refresher. And then I come back, I'm like thinking about, I need to finish this video. I need to post this. I need to do X, Y, and Z on my walk there and back. And
yeah,
you know,
I mean, it's important. I mean, there's no set break time here for us. I mean, listen, we're not a big, large company.
Right.
But you know, we have several people in the office. So yeah, they'll go out throughout the day.
Yeah.
I put for the summertime, I put a picnic table in the back. Some put plants back there. So if anyone wants to go hang out in the back there, have their lunch.
Yeah.
It's in the shade. But yeah, I mean that too. And then of course we're creating the building. We're going to continue to create the building. This was one room that we redid that we are going to definitely really build out this year.
For sure.
My office over there, which I'm starting to get things and pilot in. You know, I think you want to get things here to create experiences while you're here. Maybe get some espresso machine. We talked about the air hockey thing. Just kind of get some like interesting things around the building to, even if just like 10 minutes. Listen, I'm going to go downstairs and do this for 10 minutes. Yeah, go do it. I want you to be productive. I want results. And with that is going to come being able to, clear your head for a minute and know that, take the stress. I don't want to stress people out. We're going to get it all done.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, stressful situations come up every day in business, so it's cool to be able to retreat and just have somewhere to just say, I need to think about this in a new space. Kind of, it's a cool little a trick you play on your brain,
Yeah, exactly.
Samantha says, Rich Maliki 2020 and your mom. I don't know. Inside joke between brother and sister.
I don't know what she's talking about. All right. So
for results, Alexander says, for results, you must have a good CRM program. We'll integrate IP, phone, and email.
Yeah.
iPhone, I think you meant.
Yep. No, absolutely. Software that's and having the right software and everything, which we're going to be, I'm not talking about it now, but we are doing some different things with software this year. Secondly, promote a high performance culture. I'm building a freaking culture here. On one word, care. And so this says Jeff Bezos wrote in 1999 shareholder letter that Amazon employees need to commit to constant improvement, experimentation, and innovation in every initiative.
Wow.
A dysfunctional workplace saps everyone's energy and leads to hostility between coworkers, customers, and other stakeholders. That's because colleagues blame each other for mistakes rather than accept responsibility.
Yes.
Let me tell you something. I do not like finger pointers.
Yeah.
I don't want to sit here and find out who did what. I just want to fix the problem. Yeah. Well, she did this and he said, okay, well, that's great. Mm-hmm. We're presented with this issue right now.
Right.
Let's not play the blame game. Let's just fix it and find out how we may not let this happen again.
Exactly.
That's all.
Exactly.
That's all. I don't want to scold people for things. Listen, I make mistakes. You make mistakes. Typos. I'm not going to get into it, but
yeah, I have some crazy typos. Let me tell you.
Listen, I make plenty of mistakes. There's things that I do up there. It happens, but the blame game, it's a lose situation.
Yeah, it's not effective. That's the main thing.
Definitely not.
Like, just because it was somebody else's fault doesn't mean that the problem went away.
Right.
You still have to solve the problem.
We have to solve the problem, and that's the number one thing. And then we sit there and go, okay, how'd this happen?
Right.
Okay, so in order for this not to happen again, let's put something in place. What do we got to do? Mm-hmm. And that's it. And then you move on. We don't belabor the point. We don't talk about it over and over again. We just keep it moving. Yeah. There's too many things going on in our day. We need to tackle each thing as they come, let it go, and then we just let it. Then we let it go once it's done.
Exactly.
So that's I think that's big for high performance culture in the workplace. The third one, right? This is the third one.
Oh, that was
the last one. Is use ergonomic equipment and tools. So happy and comfortable workers better serve customers. Employees should identify opportunities for making work convenient, healthy, and efficient. That means finding the right keyboard, mouse for the body type, choosing the best office equipment that improves job performance. These prevent musculoskeletal disorders like tendonitis, muscle strains, and back pain. Agree. We were just talking about chairs. These chairs suck, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw these out.
I'm going to get a medicine ball.
Yeah, Yeah, I wish we could edit this and insert Jim popping Dwight on the medicine ball. Whenever he was doing this.
Yeah. I've been watching a lot more of The Office lately.
Yeah, it's so good.
Jim turning into a vampire.
The first 6 seasons are my favorite. Oh, yeah. Good luck, Dwight.
He walks to his car.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, chairs are important. We got to invest in some new chairs. Listen, I think the desks and everything we have upstairs are pretty good. Keyboards, mouse, I don't know. Everybody's got the latest and greatest up there at this point.
Yeah, so. I don't think anybody's typing novels anymore, between phone calls and all that.
Yeah.
You might have a couple long emails,
but yeah, I mean, listen, all these little things, you want to have a comfortable place. I even talk about where we're going to be upstairs. Listen, everyone's got an open invite. Anybody who wants to come here, jump on a live show, see the building, we'll go to lunch, Cafe Bello. And we're going to be throwing some new paint on the walls upstairs, some new floors. We need to continue to create a workplace that you feel good when you walk in the door.
Yes.
And we got to put the mission, the vision, and the core values. We're going to get those on the wall. You're going to read them. You're going to see them. You're going to feel them. You're going to believe them.
Yeah.
It's going to make it better. So that's big.
Yeah, it's good to be able to have your employees feel like they're taking pride and ownership of what they're doing.
Yeah, it's like, this is my workplace.
Right.
You're playing for the name on the front.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
2020 vision. How to have 2020 vision in 2020. We've been talking about 2020 vision now for the last couple months as we led up to, here we are in 2020. Your vision of where or who you want to be is the greatest asset you have.
It's interesting.
The vision. Big visions here. A lot of visions here. 2020 vision is a term for visual acuity in which the numerator refers to distance and the denominator refers to size. Visual activity commonly refers to the clarity of vision. Vision is all about clarity. The question is, how clear is your vision? Specifically, how clear is your vision of your own future? I think it's important to talk about this because we are in a pivotal decade upon us.
Yes.
And if you can't see it, you can't be it.
Right.
Right. We talk about what we see all the time.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think being able to project a little bit of what you want your future to be, it's the only way to get there. Like stumbling into things isn't really a good strategy for life. Obviously, there's going to be opportunities that come up that you don't expect, but that's not something that you should rely on.
Right.
It took me a while to figure that out, especially all through my early 20s. I was just trying to wait for something to stumble and just wait to stumble over something and be like, oh, okay, this is the direction I'm going to take. But really, if you see exactly what you want your life to look like, and like Gary always says, reverse engineer that, then it's only inevitable that you meet your goal.
Inevitable, for sure.
Yeah.
And it says, in 2020, you want to and need to have vision. Without vision, you'll be directionless. You'll waste loads of time. You'll get sucked into distractions. Your life will aimlessly go multiple directions, leaving you feeling frustrated, overwhelmed, confused, and without purpose. And I am guilty as charged for a lot of this stuff. Talk about distractions, man. I don't know if it's ADD. I don't know what it is, but I can find myself being all over the place sometimes to the point where I overwhelm myself into like just sitting here doing nothing.
Right. It's so overwhelmed that you're paralyzed.
Yeah.
Yep. Been there.
So
for sure.
That's something. And it's not a resolution. It's just a personal goal of mine to be better at.
Yeah.
I
know that the first one here is extreme focus on self-care. Joe has a story he often tells, which he calls $1 Million Racehorse. Here's how Joe explains it. All right, I'm gonna read a little. It's a really long story. All right, we'll do it. There's a lady I interviewed many years ago named Terry Lanier, who wrote a book called Working Solo. In my interview with her, she said, if you had $1 Million Racehorse, what would the job of that racehorse be? Well, it would be to win races. If every time the horse won, it made you $1 million, how would you treat that horse? You wouldn't shove fast food down its throat. You wouldn't run it into the ground. You would let it rest. You'd make sure the proper exercise, it got the proper exercise. You would make sure it got proper sleep. You would treat that horse in an exemplary way and make sure it won those $1 million races. Now think about your company, your business, and your life. You are the $1 Million Racehorse. You deserve to treat yourself with excellence. Damn. Boom. Preaching.
Boom. I mean, that's it.
We need to get an amen button here. Oh my God.
Is there a winners win? Gary V there?
Yeah.
Rich Mallet here.
I always pressed the wrong one.
The reason winners win is because they don't give a shit what you think about their losses.
Tell him, Gary.
That's it. So, yeah, I mean, and this is big for me.
Yeah.
This is very big for me. Dry January.
Dry January?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I got to get my life in order here, man. The holidays kicked my ass with wine and parties and dinners, and
I think I'm gonna join you. I've been feeling like that for a while now. Like I'm just gonna not drink.
And I'm getting back on my water kick. I drink at least 2 of those a day.
Nice.
And just adding more vegetables and stuff to my diet. Listen, I worked out and I did a lot of things for a lot of years. I know about nutrition and the importance of discipline and routines and all that stuff. So I just got to get myself back into it. I'm 38 now, so the last I'd say 4 years was a downward spiral into me just really right around 33-ish is when I really fell off big time.
Oh wow.
So it's time to get back on self-care, man, because like this racehorse, look at ourselves like racehorses.
Yeah.
Stop shoving fast food down our throats and not getting enough rest and doing all the things that, exercise, not getting in the proper things we need.
It's so true.
It's going to make us better business people. Trust me. It really will.
Yeah.
Number 2. What do we got for number 2?
Saying no to clients, opportunities, and masterminds that don't meet your personal criteria.
Boom. And I'll just to say on this, before we even get into what it says, for me personally, I always say if you have no positive gain from something, leave it alone. Yeah. Don't do nothing. Don't say nothing. Move on.
Yeah.
It's got to meet your personal criteria.
Yeah. I mean, when I first started like doing all this content stuff and even started my business, I said yes to everything. Every client, every networking event, I just said yes to it all. And that got exhausting pretty quick.
Yeah, you know what? Don't overextend yourself. You don't have to be everywhere.
Yeah.
Pick and choose the ones you want that you think are going to benefit the most. We all know Warren Buffett.
Right.
Right. So he says the difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything.
That's so crazy. That's so crazy. Because you think about it, like if you've ever met anybody or know anybody that's really successful, you'll ask them to do something and they'll just be like, yeah, sorry, I can't make it. No remorse for it at all.
Yeah.
Rarely will they say yes. Maybe let's say yes to like your birthday or something.
Yeah.
You know? But most of the time they're just like, yes, I can't.
Yeah. I mean, it's over the years, as right into this year, I mean, definitely been picky and choosy in the things I attend and things I go to at this point.
Yeah. I also think it's an age thing a little bit where like the older you get, the more you're willing to say no.
Oh yeah.
You know, and just be completely okay with just being like, nah, I don't wanna.
Yeah, right. And it's not about being disrespectful.
Not
it's just,
at all.
listen, I got to do what's right for me.
Right.
I got to do what's right for my business, my family. Like that's number one.
Yeah.
If I'm taking care of number one, I can take care of everybody else that are coming along for the ride.
Exactly. Like it's funny because since I've stopped taking clients and started being here full time, there every so often, maybe like once a month or so, there'll be somebody that contacts me about doing video or doing graphic design or logo work. And I'll always say like, sorry, I'm not taking clients right now. And whereas like 2-3 years ago, I would have killed to have that little bit of business. Now it's almost like they're seeking me out and like trying to win over my business. And I'm like, no, I can't. Do you want to pay me X amount more than I make here? And they're like, oh no, that's out of my budget. I'm like, well, sorry, I can't help
There you go. Yeah. There you go. So, and keeping on with this, in alignment with the first strategy, both Joe and Cameron, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to read that. Most people try to do too much. This is transactional thinking. If you want to be transformational, you've got to really invest. You've got to be a giver, not a taker. You've got to be committed. Relationships take time.
Wow. That's so good.
And that can go right into what we're doing here.
Yeah.
That we're preaching and we're practitioners.
Yeah.
We're doing it, right? So when you're on LinkedIn and when you're on YouTube, when you're on Facebook, when you're on these platforms, it's about building relationships. It's about being a giver, giving value, giving education, giving some entertainment, and giving. And then you will find that you'll be able to develop and build relationships that create opportunities over time. I mean, I reposted my story, my first post on Instagram, which I didn't realize was July of 2017.
Oh, wow. That's kind of late.
Yeah. I'm not doing this that long.
Yeah.
You know, a couple years here. So, you know, and you see how far we've come. You see what we've done by being consistent. This year is going to be the year.
Yeah.
Because we're going to double down.
For sure.
So success is taking 20 steps in one direction while most people are frantically taking one step in 20 directions.
I've been there too. Jeez, this thing is preaching.
Yeah. Number 3, saying yes to deeper connections.
So vital.
Saying yes to deeper connections. Cameron mentioned that he planned on going much deeper in his relationships and not putting stuff off anymore. It's so easy to say, let's get together sometime.
Right.
And nothing happens. Instead, Cameron is taking immediate action on relationships and making stuff happen.
Yeah. It's funny that this is being talked about. I just got a little voice note from Abe, which you know Abe. He was my business partner when we met. And he just hit me like, hey, you know, I hope you had a happy new year. Let's connect. Let's go to coffee. And let's get the old gang back together for some coffee. Let's just hang out. And it's an important relationship to keep, not just because, you know, there's value or whatever, but because he actually helped me in a time where, you know, it really mattered to me. Like I really needed it. So just keeping those facilitating those little deeper connections is really important because you never know where they're going to take you. You never know what they're going to become.
No, it's so true. And it says, let's see, that's what makes Joe so interesting. He makes it really easy to connect small. So he calls it his magic rapport formula, and it includes the following ideas. Focus on how you will help them reduce their suffering. Invest time, money, and energy on relationships. Be the type of person they would always answer the phone for. Be useful, grateful, and valuable. Treat others how you would love to be treated. Avoid formalities. Be fun and memorable, not boring. Appreciate people. Give value on the spot. And get as close to in person as you can.
That's so good. It's so hard to do.
These
too.
are some really valuable things for people to understand
Yeah.
what's happening around them. This is just everything that we've been doing and we're talking about.
Yeah.
You know, it's in writing. It's in black and white from other places, other people. It's not just us. Appreciate people. Give value on the spot. Get as close to in person as you can.
Yeah. It's
The
really
Fed group.
Yeah, it's really easy to become transactional, especially when you're in a business or an industry that's kind of tight knit. You're kind of looking to make sure, like, okay, is this going to be worth my time? Is this going to be worth my energy? But if you're making relationships with the right people, then it'll always be worth your time and energy.
Yes.
So like having those, and then being valuable to them is just as important, because you don't want to just have people that are valuable to you and you can't return or reciprocate that.
Yeah.
So it's important to kind of adjust our character to kind of sit that way, which is not an easy task, but it'll make you a hell of a person.
Yeah. None of these things are easy. I mean, listen, be useful, grateful, valuable. Treat others how you love to be treated. Listen, just be kind. Everyone's going through something in your journey. Be good to each other. Learn from each other. Respect each other. You might not see things the same way, but listen, that's what makes the world go round. Post your opinions online. Start some conversations. Let's get this thing going.
Absolutely.
Number 4.
Share your vivid vision with everyone. Your vision of where or who you want to be is the greatest asset you have. According to Cameron, you should have both a personal and professional vivid vision. In this vivid vision, you should not focus on how you're going to achieve the vision. You simply want to get very, very clear on what you want 3 years from now. So put on your calendar, put a big X 3 years in the future. What does your life look like? What do you look like? What does your environment look like? Who are the main people in your life on your team? What types of clients or people are you working with? What's the overall experience you're having? What does your typical day look like? How much money are you making? What's important to you? Where's your focus? Man, where was this article like 5 years ago?
Yeah. Yeah. In the past.
Yeah.
We had to go back to the future for it.
Yeah, for real. This is so, I don't know, it's hitting me really close to home, because those are the things that they're not always easy to articulate. Like if you were to ask yourself, what do I want 3 years from now? It's not easy to be like, I want, I want a BMW,
an Xbox.
Yeah. Like it's not easy to do.
Yeah. Who knows? I mean, 3 years. I mean, I know it's not far off in the future, but it's still far.
This not to cut you off. This reminds me of Dr. Jordan Peterson, who I always tell you about.
Yep.
And he has something similar to this, which he calls a self-authoring program, where he tells you to imagine what your future would be and write it out in detail, let's say 5 years from now, and do everything from this entire list. And then he also says, in addition to that, now imagine if your life went completely wrong and everything went south. What would that look like? And write it out in detail. And then he says, you'll obviously, now you have something to push away from and you have something to aim towards.
Yeah.
Which is like a mind-boggling thing to think about. Like, all right, I know that if I let myself go, I'll end up like this, so I can't, and now you have that concrete and you're aiming towards something.
Yeah. No, that's definitely well said, because
that's some psychology right there.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I like to plan for things, but I don't know. I think my makeup is a little different than a lot of people. 3, 5, 10 years. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know what I'm having for lunch, but
I think there's a balance that you can have though, where you're still free flowing, but you know where you want to be.
Right. Which is me.
Yeah.
I know where I'm headed.
Yeah.
I know where I'm headed. We have our boards, we have our visions, we have our different things.
Yeah.
So I know where I'm headed. I think I know where I want this company to head, and I know what needs to be done, and we're gonna get it done one little thing at a time. But for me, I'm looking at this year right now.
Yeah, for sure.
So, let's see, what do we got? Well, just to finish up on this one, I guess. Remember, your job right now is to determine how any of this stuff is going to happen. Your first job is simply to get clear on your vision. The more clear your vision is, the more obvious and easy will be the execution. Why share that with everyone? Because when you share it with others, they will begin holding you accountable to it.
Yes.
And number 2, hearing yourself say it will cause you to believe it more. Your thoughts should become words. Words should become actions. Actions become habits, and habits your personality and destiny.
I mean, the prime example for us with that would be 365 videos in 365 days. You know,
Yeah.
all of 2019. You know, we didn't quite make it, but man, we were held accountable.
We were.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're gonna do it again and see what we could see what we come up with.
Yeah.
Changing gears, Food Equipment Reports magazine. Shout out to Food Equipment Reports magazine. They have a new logo. They debuted a fresh new look for the future. Starting with a bold new logo, the reimagined design marks the most significant overhaul in the publication's 24-year history and brings a fresh, cohesive, modern look to the B2B magazine for buyers and specifiers of food, service, equipment, and supplies, as well as dealers, manufacturers, reps, food service consultants, and service agents. Yes. So
that's what the logo
it's
looks like right here.
yeah, I mean, it's modernized.
Yeah.
They modernized it.
I like the sans serif font you got going here. Nice and modern. You know, keep it nice and thin here. Very cool.
Yeah, it's simple, and that's what I like. I like simple and modern. That's what I love. It's clean, nice, clean.
It could be a stamp. It can be embroidered on a shirt. That's the mark of a good logo.
Nice. So
don't get me started.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we personally don't do much with FER, but listen, as we build our audience and continue to grow and have a voice for the industry, would love to partner and do something with Food Equipment Report. So reach out if you're interested.
I mean, we've been loving your content these past couple months.
Yeah,
doing this
we're going to
show.
talk a little bit more about some of the stuff they have here
Nice.
to finish up the first episode of
2020.
2020.
I'm Barbara Walters.
A lot of memes like that, right?
Yeah.
New food service laws in 2020. So, each year brings a slew of new federal, state, and local regulations that can affect your business. Whether you're a manufacturer, operator, or employer, and FER has compiled some notable laws to keep in mind for 2020. Overtime.
Ooh.
It's now easier for employees to earn time and a half. After 15 years at current levels, the Department of Labor raised the federal standard salary level for those who qualify for overtime from $455 to $684 a week, equivalent to $35,568 per year for a full year worker. You know, I mean, this is obviously not directly related to us, but you know, we have plenty of overtime here at Malachi Parts and Service.
All the overtime you can want.
It's there's definitely a lot more than 40 hours. Minimum wage, federal minimum remains at $7.25 for non-tipped employees and $2.13 per hour for tipped employees.
Wow.
But 25 state or local jurisdictions, including LA and DC, have minimum wage increases coming this year, including the maximum tip credit. So, I mean, minimum wage is not necessarily something that's definitely going to affect the food business.
Right.
You know, you have fast food and fast casuals and restaurants.
I always wondered your opinion on that, like just the overall idea of like minimum wage increases or not having minimum wage at all, like as a business owner.
For me, minimum wage, like I said, for our business particular, that's not really going to affect us,
right?
Really, because there's really not no one's making these minimum wages,
right? Making
much more than that. People that are here, but I think for the fast casuals and the fast foods and all these restaurants and everything, I'm not a big proponent for them raising it all $12, $13, $14, $15. I just, for me, looking at it from the business side, listen, obviously prices are going to go up.
Right.
Consumers are going to be paying a lot more. And listen, I think these jobs, you could work your way up and work your way into something. And a lot of these things are just, especially in fast food, McDonald's, a lot of these people, these young kids that, especially here in town, I mean, they're just young kids looking for an after school job or something like that. And it's a learning stepping stone to the next place they might go.
I also think, like, you know, because they're entry level jobs and they're learning opportunities.
Right. That's what it is.
If you set a higher minimum wage, it's going to be hard for them to get those jobs, because now it's like, all right, I'm paying you X amount. I'm going to need you to be more qualified for this position.
Right. Well, what about the manager that's already making $15 an hour?
Right. Well, it's funny. My brother works in hospitality, and if he wanted to become a manager while he was working front desk, he would take a decrease in salary in order to do so, because he was union. And now when you're a manager, you're not in the union anymore. Yeah. So,
you know, it's a touchy subject, I think. And I say that, you know, I don't want people to not be able to afford to live. I mean, that's not my way of thinking.
Yeah.
You know, I want people to have great wages and be able to live good lives, but I think it's I really think it starts with each individual. Every individual has an opportunity to go out there and hustle and grind and work really hard and outwork the person next to them.
Exactly.
Um,
Totally agree.
so the people that are going to make it in life successfully, they're going to make it anyway.
Right. Despite
And-
what the minimum wage
Yeah,
is.
instead of someone that's just going to sit there and complaining about
Yeah.
the way it is.
For some people, that's a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah. We got something here that says salary history. I don't know if we get into that. Scheduling. Could probably pass on that one. Discrimination. The California Fair Employment and Housing Act adds a new definition to the term race to include texture and protective hairstyles such as braids, locks, and twists.
That's seemingly random.
Yeah. Sexual harassment starting January 1st, 2020. Illinois requires restaurant and bar employers to have written sexual harassment policy in English and Spanish. The policy must be provided to employees within the first calendar week of employment. These are all serious things.
Yeah. I will say that it's very, it's kind of a relief to have the things written out so you know what you're getting into.
Yeah, we have this stuff in our handbook already.
Yeah.
It's already there.
It's like, okay, these are the actual rules. Don't break these rules.
Yeah. Here's an important one. Texting. Something to consider if you employ delivery drivers, service agents, or others using vehicles for business purposes. Starting in 2020, texting while driving in Florida is a citable offense. It'll cost $30 plus court costs and fees, as well as 3 points on the driver's record for a first offense.
Wow.
And be aware when texting your drivers, employers need to adopt policies that mitigate distracted driving.
Wow.
100%. Guys.
Texting and driving here is serious. Like New Jersey law.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can get a hefty fine and points on your license.
Oh yeah.
Big time.
It's and listen, it's just about the safety issue too.
Yeah.
Forget about all those points. What happens if you kill someone? It's or yourself. It's and I'm not gonna sit here and act like I have not done it.
Right.
Guilty, but
it's also not your job to drive though.
well, we're all sharing the road, right?
Right.
It is our job when we're doing it.
Right.
So I'm just saying, for me, I've been really trying to be more conscious of it, kind of like throwing the phone away.
Yeah.
Leaving it. For the drivers here, most guys, we have the auto reply.
Okay.
So there, I'll text them and say auto reply driving now. And once I get that, I know that they're driving. They'll call me when they stop and they're done.
Right.
I don't want them answering my text.
Right.
So yeah, texting is that. And then talking about texting too. What about in the office? People pulling phones out every 5 minutes.
See, I don't encounter that so much. That's my job.
It's
half on the phone.
Yeah. So that was another hot topic, but
yeah.
Smoking and vaping marijuana becomes legal in Illinois on January 1st.
Wow.
But the law permits employers to adopt reasonable zero tolerance or drug-free workplace policies if they're applied on a non-discriminatory manner. Georgia bans smoking and vaping in bars and restaurants January 1st.
Oh, that's been happened here.
Been happened. Nevada adds vaping to smoking bans indoors for places where smoking is prohibited. Childcare, theaters, arcades, malls, restaurant, bars. When it's going to come to the casinos? I can't breathe in there, man.
Yeah, for real. Although people really enjoy being able to smoke in the casino.
No,
they love it.
It's brutal. You smell it in the room.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's even like a little misty in there and everything.
Bathrooms. Illinois requires all gender bathrooms and baby changing facilities in all restrooms, and New Hampshire mandates universal changing stations.
Disposables.
Bans on plastic straws. Take effect on January 1st, 2020 in San Fran, Milwaukee, and Gainesville, Florida, among other jurisdictions. It's already happening here too in Jersey. Berkeley, California goes even further. Yeah. Restaurants can use only certified compostable packaging. By July 2020, restaurants must use reusable plates, cups, and utensils for dining customers and charge 25 cents for each disposable cup of guest requests.
What?
Maine outlaws polystyrene packaging in restaurants and other businesses, and joining 400 jurisdictions across the country banning or taxing plastic bags. New York and Oregon will outlaw single-use plastic bags at the beginning of the year. Hoboken, New Jersey joins them by doing the same in March.
Of course, Hoboken. No joking.
Hipsters.
Yeah.
Yuppies.
Yeah, exactly. I get it, but like you've never been to the hood and realized that those plastic bags are being reused. You bring them home.
Yeah.
You put them in the plastic bag that holds
Of
plastic
course.
bags.
I have it.
And you continue to use them. Use them as a trash bag. You use
Trash bag. You're transporting things in your car, picking up dog poop.
Yeah, those plastic bags in the hood, man, they're the same as the cloth bags that people use for Whole Foods.
Yeah, that's it.
So I don't know how I feel about that, but it's interesting for sure.
Oh, lots of changes. being very environmentally sound and friendly here in
Yes.
this new decade.
Kufta.
How dare you?
As someone who smokes cigars, I can't breathe in casinos. And he says, "Happy New Year's." I reuse plastic bags every single day for trash bags. Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
He's a single man too. Well, not single no more.
No.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel you, an adult guy.
Yeah. So that's it for what we have here today. I think we touched on a lot of things. But how much
Yeah.
time are we in on there? What does that say?
Does it have a timer? I don't even know.
It tells you right there in the top left.
Oh yeah. We're almost an hour in.
There you go.
54. So I mean, I think this
Big episode.
This
to start the year.
felt like a show.
This did feel like
This
a show.
episode felt like
It's the Rich and Angel show.
yeah. It felt like we were doing a podcast.
Yeah.
We almost felt professional. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel real good about this. And we're going to end this one here. If you made it through, thank you for listening to what we had going on here today. And
You're the real MVP.
if you're rewatching, thank you. And please know that we are looking for sponsors for the Rich and Angel show. We can send you a media packet.
I just have to read this comment. You'll be the Casey Neistat in the food equipment TV.
Yeah.
Casey spelled Keisy. Love it. I love
That's
it.
it.
I mean, that's a freaking compliment. and a
Yeah.
half.
Listen, I'll
Casey
take
Neistat
that.
is like
Dude,
ridiculous.
it's huge.
Yeah.
We'll take that. Thank you.
So don't forget.
So sponsor, if you want to sponsor Malik, the Rich and Angel show, we can send you out a nice media packet and explain to you what you're going to get. You're going to be part of every show, basically.
Yep.
So,
So let
there's
us-
really some value in that, and we'll be able to help you build your brand or business, and we'll be working on that together. Honestly.
yeah.
So Leslie, thefedgroup.com, go get your tickets. There's 40 left. 40 tickets left. And I know some of those are going to be already spoken for. So there's probably less. We could say right now there's less than 40.
Yeah. And if you're already going, don't forget to book your room.
The room block closes January 10th.
Yes.
It's over.
It's over.
So get your rooms. Do not wait another day.
Yes.
And listen, we'll be back all year. The Rich and Angel show, minimum of 2 episodes a week, maybe 3.
Yep.
Who knows when we how we get this thing going, once we get this thing really rocking.
That's right.
That's it, man. Happy New Year, everyone. Thank you for joining us here as we embark on a new decade.
Yep.
Is
Love
that it?
That's it.
Peace.
Rich and Angel. It's the Rich and Angel show.
Dunzo.